One problem with expressions like transform.opacity is that they are a bit long, and the longer the expression, the greater the chance you will make a typo while you are typing it. An expression is an instruction to After Effects, or the software is stupid. Or maybe it's more accurate to say that software is incredibly literal minded. If you make the slightest mistake while you're typing, the expressions won't work. And After Effects will bark at you with one of its embarrassing error messages. For instance, you'd screw things up if you typed this. What's wrong with that? The O in opacity is capitalized. JavaScript is case sensitive and it expects layer properties to be lowercase. That's what I mean by literal minded. What the heck is opacity? After Effects expressions interpreter can't tell the meaning between opacity when you type opacity with caps O. Here are some more typos that would cause the expression to fail. Capital T in transform, no period, transform misspelled, opacity is misspelled. Luckily, there's an easy way to eliminate 90% of typos in basic expressions. Let me introduce you to the Pickwhip. The Pickwhip is a wonderful tool that's located two icons to the right of the equal sign, the Enable Expression button. Its icon looks like a little spiral. Here's an example of how to use it. As you can see, I have created a comp with single layer in it, a small solid. It will open the layer's transform properties. Add an expression to rotation. Don't type anything in the text area, just leave the default expression there. Point to Pickwhip and hold down the left mouse button. Don't release the mouse button yet. Drag the Pickwhip to the opacity's property, to the word opacity. When it's pointing at opacity, release the mouse button. Notice that After Effects wrote the expression for you, transform to opacity. Remove the expression, add an expression to scale, Pickwhip position. I've used some shorthand here. By Pickwhip position, I mean drag the Pickwhip and drop it on the position property. Drag the layer around the component. Notice that as you drag it, it changes size. That's because Pickwhip wrote this expression transform.position. So scale is being controlled by position. Watch the value numbers in the timeline to see exactly how position is controlling scale. Position's x value gets fed into the scale's width, and position's y value get fed into the scale's height. So if position is 123x by 87y, scale will be 123% wide by 87% high. Create a comp with two small solids in it, a blue one and a green one. Select green and press P key to reveal its position property. Select red and press S key to reveal its scale property. Add an expression to red's scale. Now Pickwhip green's position. We are starting to get into major typo territory here. A single mistake would have botched the whole expression. Aren't you glad that Pickwhip did all the typing for you? Incidentally, if you're trying to understand that expression, it's easier than it looks. Remember, the expression is controlling red scale. Red scale is trying to figure out where to get its width and height values, and the expression is telling it. The expression is saying, get your numbers from something in this comp. More specifically, get them from a layer in this comp, a layer called green. Even more specifically, get them from a property in that layer's transform group. And even more specifically, get them from the transform group's position property. Whenever you see a period, a programmer would say it's a dot. It means more specifically. We are drilling down from general to specific. It reminds me of how I would respond to where do you live? When I was an annoying kid, I would say in the universe, in the Milky Way galaxy, in the solar system, on planet Earth, in India, in Tamil Nadu, in this street, and in the grey house in my room. If I had spoken JavaScript, I would have said that this universe dot Milky Way dot solar system dot planet Earth dot India dot Tamil Nadu dot this tree dot and this grey house dot my room. I'm glozing over some stuff here, like the parentheses around the green. That's because I don't want to stray too far from the subject at hand. But I'll get back to dots and parentheses and JavaScript syntax later in upcoming chapters. The drilling down can even get more complicated because we are the Pickwhip. You can hook up property in one comp with a property in another comp. That's like making a wormhole between two universes. To get sense of what I am talking about, let's try this. In this comp, you are seeing a lone blue solid. Select the solid and type S to reveal its scale property. Now open another comp. That's right, open a whole other composition, and this one you are seeing a yellow solid. Select the solid and type P to reveal its position property. As you can see, I've animated the yellow solid so that it moves about the screen. Command or Control drag the tab for comp3 away from the timeline so that comp3's timeline float in its own window. If necessary, move the floating window so that you can see the timelines for both comps at the same time. Add an expression to the blue solid scale property. With the scale, Pickwhip point to yellow solid's position property. Now preview the comp. You'll see that the blue solid scale is changing. It's being controlled by the position of the yellow solid in comp3. The expression looks like this. This looks similar to the last expression we looked at, except instead of starting with the reference to the current composition, which is this comp, it starts with a reference to comp3. What's controlling the blue scale? Something in comp. Which comp? Comp3. What thing in a comp3? A layer. Which layer? The one called yellow. What aspect of yellow? Something in its transform property group. What item in that group? The position property. That's pretty complex expression. Aren't you glad the Pickwhip wrote it for you? I'm thrilled that you know how to use the Pickwhip. There's not much more to say about it. It's simple and elegant. It does what it does. But if you're not appreciating how wonderful it is, how swiftly it can forge a link between two properties, I'd better show you a few more examples in the upcoming chapter. Thank you for staying with me. Please subscribe and click the bell notification icon. That's Arun signing off from now.